upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. His word shall not fail you, he promised. Believe him and all will be well. Then go to a world that is dying, his perfect salvation to tell. Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace.
Climbing by faith, Abraham led his son up the hill, bearing the wood on which the sacrifice would be killed. With confident steps, believing God, he obeyed his will, not knowing his answer was already climbing the other side of the hill. God never sleeps and he's always busy in ways you can't see, and he'll get the glory and good from this trial. You just wait and see. While we despair and pray for help to follow his will, he's got a ram that's already climbing the other side of your hill. Now there may be a mountain facing you that you don't want to climb. God has not revealed his plans to you, and your world's on the line. But out of your sight, already in motion, help's on the way. God already knew, and your answer was coming before you could pray. God never sleeps and he's always busy in ways you can't see, and he'll get the glory and good from this trial. You just wait and see. And while we despair and pray for help to follow his will, he's got a ram that's already climbing the other side of your hill. despair and pray for help to follow His will. He's got a ram that's already climbing the other side of your hill.
The Other Side of the Hill by the Epleys, a favorite here at Grace Baptist Church. They've been here many times, and we know them very well. They know our ministry. We play a lot of their music here on WBLW. Just a sample size of what you get to hear all the time here on the Living Word FM. I don't know. Are you on there?
I don't know. Am I?
I can hear you.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
There you go.
But all right. So we, like I said, just a sample size of some of the music you get to hear on the Living Word FM all throughout the day. Now this week we play a lot of music because we're raising funds at Shareathon. But normally we've got all kinds of different programming that is available to you. I believe during the 10:30 hour, I think. If I'm not mistaken, 10:30 is the Facing Tomorrow with Tom Williams, Dr. Tom Williams, who's a hero of many people, a hero of the faith, and I sometimes get scared when I talk about him because I feel like he's going to know it. He's just that type of a guy. He's that close to God. But we play his program. I know I catch a lot at work at the 1 o'clock hour. I know Daryl Cox. We play his preaching program, and
at 1:30.
At 1:30, that's what it is. Yes, sir. And we obviously have Pastor Jenkins on every morning and every evening. Dr. Jack Treber, I know
he's my favorite.
I know a lot of people really love him.
I love Pastor Jenkins too.
Sure,
I do. I really do. And of course, Derek isn't too bad.
Pastor.
But brother Treber, he's unique.
He's got I don't exactly know what his age is, but I know he's not a young man anymore. But he seems like he's just got so much energy.
Oh, yeah. Praise the Lord! Amen.
He always comes in very energetic.
Yes.
And when we were in Illinois. On Tuesday mornings, we would do Seed Line Ministry, and we'd put together John and Romans. And for the longest time, we were doing a dialect for India. Tamil, I believe, is what it was called. But I would run the cutter, and I'd cut all the edges so that they were nice and smooth. And I would try and get there before everybody because they'd bog me down with all kinds of stuff. They worked faster than I could, and I'd turn on the radio through my app on my phone, and I'd listen to it. And usually, Brother Treber would come on, and I'd listen to Pastor Jenkins and Brother Treber and all those guys, and it was just a blessing. Because down there, we didn't have anything like this.
Okay.
We didn't have. There was a Christian radio station, a supposed Christian radio station down there, but you couldn't listen to it hardly at all. Yeah. And so we used the app on our phones. I'd listen to it in the office through the internet, and just you don't. I know I said this when we first came back about 2 years ago. You don't appreciate what you have until you don't have it anymore.
That's for sure.
And when we moved down there, it was like, okay, now what do we listen to in the car? We really got to up our CD,
so
that we have good music in the car. And but yeah, it's something that sometimes, because it's so constantly going, and you just assume you get in the car and it's still on and it's still broadcasting, the radio station that is always going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's not the case if we don't get the support to keep the lights on and to keep things going. So we need your help to do that. We still have the $180 worth of matching funds available. So whatever amount you call in and pledge, that gets doubled. We'd really like to see that get taken care of here in these next few minutes or so. And from what I was just told by my brother, and from what I was told. He said they had 2 of these earlier this week, and it's Wednesday, so we're about in the middle of the week, halfway through. He said they had 2 of these earlier this week, and they went lickety-split. They were gone pretty fast.
Sounds good.
So we've got 2 more courthouse pillows that have been donated to the radio station. My wife got one last year, and she loves it. It sits on our couch. and sometimes me and my daughter have pillow fights with it. But anyways, I hope Mrs. Court didn't hear that.
Yeah, there you go.
But we have 2 more courthouse pillows, and those are available for $100 pledge or more. Very, very, very stylish. She does a very good job with them. Made out of the Petoskey stone style fabric, and just very, very unique Michigan pillows. Yep. And I believe she sells them all over the state.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure they sell for a good amount.
Yeah, they're a pretty hot topic. I know she's pretty busy with them. So those are available for $100 pledge or more. And ladies, if you'd like one of those for your living room or for your Michigan room decorations, my wife last year, she made sure that I was paying attention to where we could get one when they were available. So we, because they're just that good, and she loves them that much. So we have those available.
You better call in before they go.
Yeah, absolutely. They won't be here long because they are very, very popular. We've got that available. We've still got a bunch of different bundles back here. Looks like the barbecue bundle is still available for a day's worth of broadcasting. We've got back here, we were talking about this last night, this Ireland bundle. For a day's worth of broadcasting. Everything in that bag is brought back directly from Ireland, back from the Isle of Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, we got any Irish fans out there?
There you go.
They gotta call in and get that.
Absolutely. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. There's some kitchen stuff. There's some coffee and some tea, some chocolate. There's some Irish cookies in there. So all kinds of different stuff that you won't find here in the United States because it's specifically from Ireland.
There you go.
So we've got those things available, books, CDs, all kinds of stuff available to us or to you. And these aren't some. And I know some people say, "Well, I could go out and get a CD for less than $50, for less than a $50 pledge." But that's not the point. That's not the point.
That's for sure.
Those are just things to say thank you for giving. If you want it, if you don't, and you just want to give out of the goodness of your heart, praise the Lord. Thank you for that.
Sometimes it's a little incentive.
Absolutely. If that's something for us to just give back and say thank you for your contribution and for supporting Christian radio, then those are available. Anyways, give us a call, 800-485-1910, or locally 705-7464, and make those phones ring. The ladies are out there. I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting there.
They're just waiting.
They're just waiting.
That's
They're like tigers ready to pounce when the phone rings. You may not even get a full ring in. They're going to be right on top of it. Anyways, Pastor Doctor, we were talking here in the break. You seem to have gone through a little bit of a physical. I don't know if you'd call it a trial, but a physical.
Well, it was a trial.
A little bit of a trial that you just recently came through. Why don't you give us a little testimony about that?
Sure.
And tell us how good the Lord's been through it.
Well, about a year ago now, I found out I had cancer in the esophagus.
Oh, wow.
And why I ended up with that cancer, doctors don't know. We don't know because of things that usually cause it. I didn't have.
Sure.
But God allowed it. And it was rough. It was right before it went into the stomach, and therefore it was really a serious problem. And I had chemo, had radiation, which radiation just about killed me. And matter of fact, if
I've heard all that's really, really rough to go through.
I just said, Lord, just take me home. Get me out of this.
Sure.
And the pain was so bad. Then I had surgery a little over 6 months ago now, and I won't gross anybody out, but it wasn't pleasant.
Sure.
And I have a stomach now about the size of a softball, and so I can't eat very much at a time, but I love to eat. It still tastes good. I just have to eat more often.
Sure.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm always snacking on peanuts. I need protein. Matter of fact, the doctor told me that normally what I'd tell you not to eat it. Don't even drink water. He said drink Kool-Aid or milk or something for protein and calories.
Yeah.
Because I lost 40 pounds in the whole ordeal.
Gotcha.
And which they say I'll never gain back again. which I guess is okay. I used to be a heavyweight. Now I'm a lightweight.
There you go.
Flyweight, or whatever you want to call it. But through it all, God used it in many ways. I had people pray, and it just was so exciting, and to know how many people were praying for me.
Sure.
At one time, we had 16 different states that we knew people were praying, and
Wow.
at least 2 different countries.
That's awesome.
So that was a blessing. So when the doctors and nurses, because I recovered quite rapidly after the surgery and stuff, and they said, "Wow," and I'd say, "Hey," I says, "You don't know how many people I got praying for me."
Sure.
And I said, "God answers prayer."
Absolutely.
And I'm still, I tire fairly easy, but otherwise I feel great. I can do things. I'm just so thankful.
Absolutely.
And especially to be back in a pulpit, I really missed that. 'Cause
Sure.
there was a while I couldn't. And so there could have been a lot of other ramifications from it. They said, I might be hoarse, have a voice. They said that I may not even be able to talk good at all because of all of this. But I wouldn't even know that anything happened in that
Sure.
way. So we never know why, but somebody out there struggling, God's there.
Absolutely.
And even though sometimes I wish that I had just gone to heaven, and I still, I'm ready for heaven. So
Sure.
praise the Lord for that.
Sure.
But I'm glad He still has me alive. I guess He has me some more work for me to do.
Right.
And but I certainly want to make sure everybody knows it's because of Him.
Right.
God
Absolutely.
did it, and I'm so
Amen.
thankful. Even though He used people, doctors, and medicines, and so on, but He's good.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, you mentioned you get to eat more often throughout the day.
Yeah.
I don't have a small stomach, and that's how I end up going throughout the day.
Yeah, you're so skinny anyway. To
Yeah,
start with,
this is
so.
true. My wife, if we have a lot of snacks in the house,
Yeah.
and I'm by myself now, if she's home and she's usually in charge of all the food, and she'll make sure we have good meals. But sometimes that she's taken the kids and gone to see her folks and stuff,
Sure.
and I don't usually eat meals. I just eat throughout the day.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. If you go buy food, you grab it.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I just graze.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be considered a cow, but so anyways.
Yeah.
But that's an awesome testimony. Just
God's good.
How God works through all that stuff. I've often said when we were in Illinois, I used to tell the teenagers, and when I got the opportunity to preach to our church, we had a lot of older folk in the congregation, and I tell them, I said, look, you understand, if God's done with you, He'll take you home.
Right.
If you're still here, He has a purpose for your life,
Absolutely.
no matter what it. You may not know what it is right now, but we constantly need to be looking for what God has for us to do for Him.
Yeah.
And I believe that with all my heart. It doesn't matter what age you're at. If you're a teenager, if you're a child, if He's accomplished the purpose through your life that He has for you,
Amen.
He'll take you home. And we often don't want it to be at a younger age.
Right.
But we want to live a full life. But no matter what age you are, if you're still here on this earth, God's got a purpose for your life.
That's right.
And we need to constantly be looking for it.
And the ones that get left behind are the ones that feel sad about it.
Right.
Because the one that's gone to heaven, he don't want to come back.
Sure. I've often thought, when Lazarus was in the grave, 3 days and 3 nights, and Jesus called him out, you often wonder, and I don't know if he was in heaven or if he was just God had him in a waiting place so that he didn't feel like he was. But
we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know. The Bible doesn't say. But if he was in heaven and Jesus calls him back, Lazarus, come forth. You want to talk about a bummer, man?
Yeah.
It's like I was happy. What'd you do that
Well,
for?
the only reason it could be God says, "Hey, I'm not done with you."
Sure, absolutely.
And so that's the key.
So, but anyways. The mourning and everything, and the graveyards and the tombstones. That's all for us down here to remember people by. But
one of the things I've used in sermons too. Matter of fact, I have a sermon called "Your Dash of Life," and every tombstone has a day you were born,
right,
a dash, and the day you die.
Right.
That dash is your life.
Sure.
And what does that dash say?
Yeah.
And so I use that a lot, and my dash isn't done yet.
Yes, absolutely.
But what it did do, there are numerous things, but I'm not going into great detail, but in some ways humbled me because I was always in pretty good shape. I could do pretty much anything I wanted to do. I played sports. I did all of those things, and all of a sudden, everything came to a crashing halt.
Right.
Your perspective changes.
Sure.
Because now the things that you were concerned about or thought about or whatever, right now all you were trying to do was survive.
Right.
To get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm thankful. I really am. God taught me numerous things, and hopefully I put some of the applications of the things that I learned.
Right.
Amen. And but it's good. Maybe it's to help somebody else that's going through some other experience. So
sure.
Anybody ever want to give me a call, they got that kind of problem and want me to help them or just to talk with me.
Sure.
Any kind of cancer, I'd be glad to listen to them.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that was an awesome testimony, and an awesome testimony of what God's done through your life. But we are still trying to raise funds.
Amen.
It's been a little quiet. But I understand it's the middle of the morning. Some people are at work, kids are at school. But if you're at home or in your car and you're listening to us, and the Lord's laying on your heart to pledge, I often say this: don't wait.
Yeah.
I know we're here till Saturday, but don't wait, because sometimes procrastination, you forget about it, or it just gets away from you. And give us a call now and get it put in. And we've got these 2 court pillows available. We've got the matching funds that are still available. So we've got CDs and books, and the ladies have all the lists that they can go over with you out there. If you've got a favorite singer that
you can ask what's available.
Absolutely, and they'll be able to tell you what we've got out there. So give us a call, 989-705-7464. Toll free, 1-800-485-1910. We're going to go to a few more songs to call by, and we'll be back here in the next few minutes, probably after the top of the hour, the news break, and we'll jump back on and hopefully encourage you, entertain you a little bit more. But this is Stay Tuned by Sound Doctrine, one of my favorite groups to listen to, so I plugged them in. So if you don't like them, I apologize. I do.
Well, I do too.
This is Sound Doctrine with Stay Tuned. So stay tuned and give us a call, and we'll certainly appreciate it.
There's a lot of stars in heaven, some we haven't seen. There's a lot of stars in Hollywood, shown on a silver screen. But none can hold a candle to the bright and morning star. When he makes his appearance, he'll outshine them all by far. Stay tuned for the King of Kings return, starring Jesus, whose eyes like fire burn, featuring the heavenly host, brought to you by the Holy Ghost, written and produced by God above. The stage is set for his appearance, he can show it any time. The script is written picture perfect, and the star knows every line. And it'll be like nothing that you've ever seen before. For a while he's been out of the picture, but now he's coming back once more. Stay tuned for the King of Kings return, starring Jesus, whose eyes like fire burn, featuring the heavenly host, brought to you by
shepherd. I'm told you were my all. If by chance I stumble, you would break my fall. But these were merely words I spoke when others were around, until I saw what you would do when I was down. Jesus, you're everything to me. You have provided all my needs. When I thought there was no way, you led me to a brighter day. And Jesus, you're everything to me. Oh, to think you formed the heavens, poured out the rushing sea. You carved the mighty mountains in their majesty. Such glory in your kingdom, oh Lord, how can it be that you would take the time to be every breath to me? Jesus, you're everything to me. You have provided all my needs. When I thought there was no way, you led me to a brighter day. And Jesus, you're everything to me. Oh, Jesus, you're everything to me. Lord, you have provided all my needs. When I thought there was no way, you led me to a brighter day. And Jesus, you're everything to me. Jesus, you're everything. Jesus, you're everything. Jesus, you're everything to me.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
She was sent away.
That's the sister of the girlfriend of the man behind the deadly Las Vegas shootings, saying he sent Mary Lou Danley out of the United States before killing 58 people at that country music festival Sunday night.
She was sent away so that she will be not there to interfere or put this planning.
Though Danley's sisters say they don't believe she knew exactly what her boyfriend was planning. Danley flew back from the Philippines to Los Angeles International Airport last night, where she was met by federal agents. She's currently answering questions for the FBI. President Trump currently traveling to Las Vegas, saying as he was preparing to leave Washington,
"We're going to pay our respects and to see the police who have done really a fantastic job in a very short time."
You're listening to USA Radio News. The White House is pushing Congress to approve $30 billion in funding to help deal with recent natural disasters, including the massive hurricanes and wildfires, as well as paying for a flood insurance program. The Pentagon giving U.S. troops in Afghanistan more flexibility to fight terrorists there. Here's Mark Mayfield.
Defense Secretary Jim Mattis told two congressional committees yesterday that American forces no longer have to be close to Taliban fighters and other terrorists before attacking. Mattis also said U.S. military advisors will now be allowed to deploy with Afghan troops in the field. Mattis says local troops tend to be more successful in combat when they're assisted by American or NATO advisors. Mattis says the new rules of engagement allow greater use of air power.
NBC News is reporting Secretary of State Rex Tillerson had to be talked out of resigning this past summer. It cites sources claiming Tillerson referred to President Trump as a moron. Remember, you can keep up to date by finding us online at usaradio.com.
From the weather desk of 88.1 WBLW Gaylord, here is your hourly forecast, courtesy of the National Weather Service.
Rain showers likely this morning, with skies gradually clearing this afternoon and a high of 63 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear and a low of 46. Thursday showing mostly sunny skies expected with a high of 60. Friday, sunny with a high of 60 degrees. Thank you for listening to Gaylord's 88.1 The Living Word FM and online at livingwordfm.com.
What a privilege to come into God's presence, just to linger with the one who set me free. As I lift my eyes and see his awesome glory, I remember who he is and bow the knee.
Bow the knee, bow the knee. He is King of all the ages, bow the knee. God alone on his throne. See him high and lifted up and bow the knee.
Kneel before him, all adore him. As you live to love him more, bow the In his hands he holds the power of creation. With his voice he spoke, and all things came to be. Yet he hears each simple prayer I bring before him, when I humbly seek his face and bow the knee.
King of all the ages, bow the knee. God alone on his throne. See him high and lifted up and bow the knee.
Kneel before him, all adore him. As you live to love him more, bow the knee. Bow the knee. Bow the knee. He is King of all the ages, bow the knee. God alone on his throne. See him high, lifted up and bow the knee.
was Bow the Knee by Ron Hamilton, and that was requested by a lady, I believe, from your church that called in and requested that song. She also requested...
She didn't give her name.
She didn't, yeah, I'm sorry, we didn't get a name. But she also requested a song, The King is Coming, and I apologize. I looked for that in our playlist. Unless it's under a different name, I did not find that song. I tried typing it a couple different ways. Yeah. And so if you want to call back, if you think it may be a different name or something, if you want to call back and give it to us, we'll be more than happy to plug that in for you.
Something else that she gave yesterday already. So
sure, she called in and pledged yesterday. So if you have another song that you want to hear and you'd be more than willing to call back, I'd be more than happy to plug that in there for you. But we need the phone to ring and get some pledges going here.
Yes, sir.
We haven't really had anything moving. So we need your help. My wife's giving me a weird look. So we need your help to raise some funds and to keep Fundamental Christian Radio on the air. So give us a call at 800-485-1910. And we're sitting at $5,400 right now. We'd really need to get... I'd like to get to the $6,000 mark here this next hour. So $600... That's about 4 or 5 people with a day's worth of broadcasting. Plus, we've got $180 worth of matching funds right now. So if you call in with a day's worth of broadcasting, that automatically becomes $320.
Amen.
And that gets us that much closer to the $6,000 mark. If you call in with 50, that becomes $100. So we've got up to $180 worth of matching funds to help us move along here. And I've also been told that we've got 2 more courthouse pillows available to us for a $100 pledge or more. So if you call in and that's something that you're interested in, I know they're very, very. Mrs. Court does a very good job with them. My wife has one. My sister-in-law has one. I know a lot of ladies in our church have gotten one. Some through the radio station, some through Mrs. Court herself. So we. Those have been given. They've already had 2 this week, and I think it was on Monday, and they were gone pretty fast. So those are available. But if you think, well, I'll get it later this evening, they probably won't be available later on today because those are very, very well done pillows.
Brother Josh, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Have you ever looked at and figured out how much a secular radio station, how much it costs to run a station for a year?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I know
that.
it's. I have heard over past Shareathons people saying that it's to keep a. I forget which radio station he was saying it was. But to keep it going was about $600 a day.
$600 a day.
It was somewhere in that vicinity.
And so how much is this one a day?
We're about $160 a day.
$160 a day.
And it's
all volunteer giving.
Absolutely.
And now you folks volunteer your time, right?
Yes, sir. I don't know. The staff doesn't get, if they get anything, it's very small compensation to help out here. I know they've downsized in staff. My brother's basically the main one running everything.
Yeah.
So right at this point, I'm sure he'll get some help here in the next few weeks, months to come. But it's all volunteer based. So we try and keep the cost as minimal as we can. Yeah. I know when I was younger, it used to be $240 a day.
Okay.
And we've cut cost as much as we possibly could and lowered that all to $160 to make it more helpful for those that want to give and support a day.
Right.
Because I know personally, $240 is not something to sneeze at. It's not something that's easy to come by.
Right.
And $160, I understand, is still quite a bit of money, but we've done the best that we can here at the radio station to keep cost as low as possible. And we do have some needs here at the radio station. There's some tower maintenance here. One of our, I believe Adam said, one of the dishes on the top of our tower behind the church, it needs some work that broadcasts our signal to the tower that sends it out throughout the radio waves. That needs some attention and needs some work. They'd really like to get that done before the winter comes, because being 100 feet up in 32-degree weather is not fun.
No.
But they do have some of that needs to get done. We like to update some of our programming that would help with some of the clarity of the music and the sound. It would just really boost that up a little bit. So there are some needs that need to be met here at the radio station. But we do try and keep it as low as possible. And you may think, well, I can't give $160. I can only, I only can give $10. And absolutely, any little bit helps.
Absolutely.
$10.
That all adds up.
Absolutely. I think it's broken down here. I think it breaks down to about, $6.67 an hour is what it breaks down to. So you can, if you have $10 and you think, oh, that's really not that much. Hey, you just sponsored an hour's worth of broadcasting.
That's right.
And that's another hour that somebody could hear the gospel. That's another hour that somebody could hear a song that's going through a tough time. That may be able to hear that music that God has specifically planned for them at that point in time, and lift their spirits and encourage them. So you never know what kind of rewards you're going to get giving to a 24/7 missionary like the radio station.
Right. $160 a day, they have it broke down to. That's only $13.33 a month. That's only $3.08 a week.
Yeah.
That's only 44 cents a day.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
can you buy for 44 cents anymore?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even coffee.
You can't even go to the dollar store and get something for that cheap.
No. So when you think about it that way, what a tremendous investment.
Right.
And we're going to, our church is going to pretty quick here, but I want to wait for a little bit. And,
sure.
But it's this matching fund. There's somebody that wants to double. You give $10, they'll double it, make it 20.
Right.
Whatever it might be. And so it's a great, great thing, and God will be honored with it.
Absolutely. You think
people will be blessed.
$13 a month. People pay $40, $50 a month for cable.
Yeah.
$40, $50 a month for internet, and $13 you can't hardly find anything a month for $13 a month.
Charter, you get the phone, internet, and whatever else you might have there, TV, $188 or something like that a month.
Right.
And
people throw that money out there just like that. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anything like that. But, it's just trying to compare and show you how minimal, really $160 to sponsor a day. Right, absolutely.
Which is more important.
Souls being saved and influencing lives, or, watching your favorite show. Yeah. But we're just trying to get you to think a little bit, to understand that, it's not that expensive to sponsor a day's worth of broadcasting. And you can break it up over a monthly period. We've got people that pay every month. Not pay, but pledge, and give every month towards the radio station. So it doesn't have to be a lump sum, right, or all at the same time. But whatever the Lord would lay on your heart to give, whether it's a day's worth, whether it's less than that, and praise the Lord, whether it's more than that.
That's right. Well, like we have Faith Promise at our church.
Sure.
And one of the things we always say, don't make up your mind right now until you pray about it.
Right.
Ask the Lord, what do you want me to give?
Right.
Lord, what will you help me give? And
sure.
It's amazing. I mean, any churches or any individuals been involved with Faith Promise knows what that means.
Right.
And this is just another avenue.
I know sometimes, in the past, especially in my life, there's been some times where it's like, Lord, what do you want me to give? And he puts a number on your heart, and you think, man, I don't know about that. I don't know where that's going to come from. Yeah. But, and that's why it's Faith Promise.
That's right.
You give it in faith and expect the Lord to provide and meet the need, and it helps grow your faith, and God working through that.
We were in the UP, and when I was pastoring up there at Calvary Baptist Church, when I first took over the church, we had our first faith Promise. And somebody put a pledge card in there for I think it was $100 or $105 a month.
Wow.
And I thought, well, some kid did that or something. So I asked one of the deacons, I said, is that true? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brother John, he was a single man. He puts and so that was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. And he didn't have that great a job.
Right.
But that's what he could do, and
Sure.
God blessed him for it.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know,
he ended up getting married.
Hey.
He was 54 years old. And she had to pretty much ask him. But anyway.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you never know. You know, it's a true statement that you cannot outgive God.
That's
God will always give more than you can give.
Amen.
And, you know, it's just amazing how God works through different avenues. And it may not always be, you know, he may not always give back in money.
No.
But he may give back in
hey, your car doesn't break down.
Sure. You know,
whatever it might be.
Yeah, it may be different avenues that he gives back and helps you out through. Yeah. It may not always be a financial situation, but God will always God will always give more than you can give him. Yeah. And we're trying to keep the radio station going here until the next spring. And we need your help to do so. 989-705-7464, 800-485-1910 is the number to call. We've got plenty of incentives that you can partake in if you so choose. We've got all kinds of different baskets and things that you can have a part of. This barbecue basket back here has all kinds of goodies in it.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's got some utensils, some grill things,
brushes and tongs,
and my brother showed me this last night. This spatula here,
wow,
is a telescopic spatula.
Ooh, man, so that goes out to a couple feet.
Yeah, you can in case the grill gets too hot, you can pull your burgers off from about 4 feet away.
By the way, this show is being live streamed, and so if you know how to do that, you can get on the computer and you can see some of this stuff. You
go to Living Word FM or WBLWradio.com, and you
can see the face behind it. And Josh, he's a handsome young man.
Yeah, well, don't believe everything you hear. But you go on the website there, down at the bottom, it says WBLWTV. Click on that; it'll take you to our YouTube page. And you can watch there and see what we look like if you so choose. See what the radio station looks like. Yeah, maybe
on this side.
Yeah, maybe they won't want to watch after they look for a few minutes. Yeah. But that is available. Something that I don't know is if I don't think I've mentioned it, but may have been mentioned throughout the week. You can also donate or pledge on our website.
Yes.
You can go to livingwordfm.com. or WBLWradio.com. Both will take you to the website there, and there's a donate button. It's all set up through PayPal. It's a secure giving site, and you can donate through there as well if you don't so choose not to do it over the phone, and that's fine as well. That avenue is there. I know in today's day and age, online shopping and giving, online and all that stuff is very popular. My in-laws, my wife's family, we were talking about Christmas lists for our nieces and nephews and our children and all that stuff, and they were sending us lists that they've compiled of stuff online, and it's all saved on there, and you can buy it right from their Christmas list. And the days of the Sears Wish Book catalog, I think, have been long gone now. But I remember, I'm not that old. I remember getting those when I was a kid, the Wish Book, and I would sit for hours on end and just flip through the toy section and dream and hope and wish, that I'd get
that
one.
too, but mine are gun catalogs, stuff.
As you get older, the things get more expensive.
Yeah, but it's still a wish list.
Yeah, absolutely. One of these days.
Yeah.
But so you can donate online through the website, and that's available there as well. But it's a good cause to give to. We are very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? We try to be very smart with the way we use the money here.
Right.
We're not frivolous with it. No. But we need your help. We need those phones to ring. It's been very quiet, and we need you to give us a call. We're sitting at $5,400, trying to get to $6,000 before the 12 o'clock hour. So give us a call, 989-705-7464, 800-485-1910 are the numbers to call. We'll go back to some music to call by, give you a chance to take a break from us. And this is the Collingsworth family with The Love of God, and we'll be back after these next few songs.
The love
of God is greater far than tongue or pen can ever tell. It goes beyond the highest star and reaches to the lowest hell. The guilty pair bowed down with care. God gave His Son to win His every child. He reconciled and pardoned from his sin.
Could we within the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, were every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the Lamb of God above. Oh, it would drain the ocean dry, nor could the scroll
death she prepared. In my sorrow she shared. She hath done what she could. There were some that would scorn, they would try to give her blame. He spoke the word, she had come to praise his name. Her worship went on as the fragrance filled the air, and the glory of God filled the hearts of each one So, dear saint, as you walk with this wicked world about, sin crowding in, many voices screaming out, be not dismayed, keep your eyes upon the Lord, let your life pure and clean praise our God in heaven adored. She hath done what she could, and the work it is good, precious oil pure and sweet. She hath poured at my feet, for my death she prepared. In my sorrow she shared. She hath done what she could.
In a lonely cattle stable in the town of Bethlehem, a baby's born to save fallen man, but he was rejected. They cried, crucify, and as a humble man, Jesus had to die. Placed in a borrowed tomb just till day 3, when out from the grave he rose, mighty victory. Died as a lamb, rose as a lion, to the conqueror of Calvary. Death bowed his knee, bowed the knee to the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Bow the knee as heaven's angels start to sing, holy, holy, to the Christ of Calvary. All of heaven and earth to King Jesus bow the
as he enters the room. His time is almost over, soon he'll meet his doom. He will live in hell for all eternity, but before he leaves Christ's presence, he must bow the knee. Now this is something that he has never done. What great humiliation to bow before God's Son, but his leg begins to tremble, his fear is plain to see. And then before the throne of God, Satan bows his knee.
Bow the knee to the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Bow the knee as heaven's angels start to sing. Holy, holy to the Christ of Calvary. All of heaven and earth to King Jesus bow the knee. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. All of heaven and earth to King Jesus
The angry men were closing in. Rocks were in their hands. A decent payment for her sin. Now her life must end. But Jesus said, "Let he who is innocent cast your stone today." I wasn't there to see her face, but I can almost hear her say, "Merciful to me when I deserve to die. Merciful to me, my soul he brought to life. Nothing could I bring my debt to satisfy. Jesus was merciful, merciful to me." Satan's men were closing in. I knew what was in store. A decent payment for my sin, eternal fire and more. But Jesus said, "I have an announcement I'd like to make today. You see, I have the scars soul he brought to life. Nothing could I bring my debt to satisfy. Jesus was merciful, merciful to me. Nothing could I bring my debt to satisfy. Jesus was merciful. Jesus was merciful. Jesus was
Merciful to Me by the Vandenbergs. Before that, we had Bow the Knee by the Grace Baptist Teen Choir, and She Hath Done What She Could by the John Marshall Family. Some good music that we play here on the Living Word FM. I know I have personally been at work, and I get to drive a vehicle around the resort that I work at on occasion, more times than not throughout the day, and I'll be listening to the radio. And there's been times where you have a tough day and a little stressed, a little run down, and you turn on the radio and a song comes on. It's that's a good song. You get revived,
just what you needed.
And the Lord knows what He's doing. And so I know this radio station's been a blessing to me. I hope it's been a blessing to you. And if so, well, why don't you call in and give us a pledge so that we can keep this radio station going. 989-705-7464, 800-485-1910, the numbers to call. We're sitting at 11:42. We've got about 18 minutes till the top of the hour. We're still sitting at $5,400. We need your help to get to about $6,000. We need about $600 here in these next 20 minutes or so. We still have $180 worth of matching funds available, so you call in no matter what the amount, up to $180, and that'll automatically get doubled and move our total that much closer to that goal. Still have a bunch of incentives available to you. We've got 2 courthouse pillows for $100, $100 pledge or more, and like I said, those are pretty popular items. So if you wait till later on this evening, you're probably not going to find them available because they'll probably be gone later on today if they don't get taken here before the 1 o'clock hour. So make sure you jump on the phone and give us a call and make your pledge, no matter what the amount may be. $160 takes care of a day, and that's what we have figured out here with our numbers, and we're trying to raise some funds so that we can take care of some needs that we have here at the radio station, as well as keep the lights on and the electricity going. Because without that, we really can't broadcast without electricity. Yeah. So get somebody out here with a hand crank or something. Yeah, but 56 degrees outside is where we're sitting at. A little overcast, maybe a little bit of a rain shower later on this afternoon, in between the 1 to 2 o'clock hour, but. I think fall has fallen here. And yesterday was a beautiful day, up in the 70s, and but I think we're stuck with the 60 to 50 degree weather for the next couple of weeks.
I love fall weather, so this is good. Now,
sure.
Today's misty. It was misty when I was coming in. Had to have the wipers on a little bit. But other than that, I love fall weather.
And up here in northern Michigan, the fall colors once they turn
starting to come. As driving over here this morning, there were some pretty spots.
Yeah, once they turn, they're pretty vibrant. Like I said, I work at a resort, and you'd be surprised how many people come up just for the fall tours, and they go over to Boyne Mountain and take the fall color ride up the mountain, and there's people taking pictures everywhere.
And maybe, as they're driving, they might turn into this station.
Absolutely.
Maybe by accident.
Sure.
But if they can hear the Word of God, maybe somebody gets saved. And so this is a great program. And like he said, $160 a day. You don't have to give that much. You can give whatever you want, $5 for whatever you want. And but that's a really, really cheap price, really,
Sure.
if you think about it, for this type of program. But $160 a day. And I'm Pastor Doctor, and from Jordan Valley Baptist Church in East Jordan. And what I'm going to share right now is my wife and I are going to sponsor a day.
Amen.
I'll get my composure.
Oh, you're fine. Take your time.
We have a special day. Our youngest son, Danny, he'll be 41 years old on October 27th, and we're going to sponsor that day in honor of him. Danny has Down syndrome, and he was our last child, and just a amazing young man.
Sure.
Amazing young man. The people that know him, not only is he friendly, but Dan has some special, wonderful gifts. He reads very well. He is fantastic with numbers. As I'd said earlier, the reason I probably don't ever forget my wife's birthday or our anniversary is because Danny will always let you know ahead of time. It may be a week or two.
Sure.
Matter of fact, after his birthday, he'll start telling you next year what day his birthday is on. Because numbers are important. Matter of fact, in our church, somebody asks for a song, whatever it might be. Danny most likely will know the page it's on, the number.
Wow.
He's just good that way. But he's been my walking Bible concordance also. He's got a tremendous memory of numbers and things. And I used to have him in the jails and prisons when I did that. When God first called me into ministry when I was 38, I was a barber in Ellsworth for 18 years or 19 years before that. And God called me to full-time ministry. I went into jails and prisons in the UP until the Lord called me to pastor a church in the UP. But anyway, I used to have Danny get up in front, and I'd have the men ask him where a story was in the Bible or a Bible character, and especially the New Testament. He would not only give you the book that it was in, the chapter, but usually the verses.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's just amazing.
Sure.
And he doesn't like to be wrong. And if he didn't know the answer, it was always so funny. He'd say, "Ask Mom." Don't ask Dad.
Yeah.
Ask Mom. But there would be times. One time I was in the jail prison ministry, and we were traveling, and a preacher called me up. He'd gotten sick, and he asked me if I could fill in for him that night on a Wednesday night. And I said, sure. And so I was looking up some things, and my wife was driving, and I was trying to think of a verse. I have no idea what it was now. And I couldn't think. I said, honey, do you know where I quoted part of the verse?
Right.
She says, no, I don't. Danny spoke up from the back seat. He knew it was.
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, well, that's great. And so then I started asking him some more. And that's where it got involved in that.
Gotcha.
We didn't even realize that he had that.
Huh.
That
That's
gift.
Cool.
And so I've had him preach too, especially in the Upper Peninsula. I had, when I was pastoring at Calvary Baptist near Houghton, Michigan, we had Michigan Tech students come. And I had a bunch of them what I called my preacher boys. And I had them would preach on Sunday nights. I'd give them 5 to 10 minutes or whatever.
Sure.
And Danny was always one of them. And
That's awesome.
It was a blessing. And so, you know, he when he was first born, it was hard.
Sure.
Because, wow, I had 3 beautiful, normal kids. And now Danny came along.
Sure.
But I'm telling you, what a blessing he has been to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. There's been some rough times.
Sure.
Oh, there's some rough times. I won't go into great detail about that, but through it all, God has just blessed and used him in special ways that I would have never considered.
It just goes to show that God has a plan for everybody. It doesn't matter, whether you 100% mental capacity or whether, you might be a little, the Lord has allowed you to be a little slower than others. It doesn't matter. God still has a plan for your life.
No question about it. Don't ever think that you can't be used by
Absolutely.
God. may not be what you want to be used
Right,
at, or you
right.
think that you should be used, but God has a plan
Right.
and a purpose. And it's so, Danny is so special. So that October 27th will be my wife and I honoring Danny. We'll support that day, $160.
All right. Well, we'll make sure we'll mark that down so that that's put in, and they'll make a nice little in honor of segment right before or after, I think, the news and weather plays on the top of each hour. Yeah. And maybe that's something that you'd be interested in honor of a family member,
That's
or
right.
your wife's birthday, or an anniversary, or maybe in honor of a homegoing of someone that meant something to you. Or I know earlier this week, Pastor Jenkins was on Monday morning with my brother, and he was really encouraging people to call in honor and pledge in honor of their spiritual birthday.
Yes.
And what more of an awesome thing to do is to have a whole day of the gospel and gospel music playing, and the gospel will be giving out throughout the day. Then on your spiritual birthday, you know, I was 8 years old when I got saved.
Same here.
And here at Grace Baptist, I remember like it was yesterday. They were remodeling what is now the auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
They were adding on and adding to the platform and baptistry and choir loft area, and extending the auditorium. But there was no carpet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was. Because of the construction, the auditorium was about half the size it was, and I knew the Lord was dealing on my heart, and I'd put it off for about a week. And it's amazing, even at 8 years old, you know, my thought was, well, my dad's a pastor.
Yeah.
He's an assistant pastor at the church. People think I'm saved. What are they going to think of me?
Yep.
You know, it's amazing how the devil works, even on the young people.
That's right.
And I put it off for about a week, and I'll tell you, that week I was scared to death to get in a vehicle, because I knew if we got in a car accident and I died, I was going to spend eternity in hell.
Yes, sir.
And I couldn't take it. It was a Wednesday night when I knew the Lord started working on my heart, and a week later, that next Wednesday night, I walked up to the left side of the platform where my dad was, and in my 8-year-old mind, my first thought was, I got to have a story. I got to come up with something to make it sound like I need to get saved, Dad, so he'll understand.
Sure.
And I had made a profession of faith speaking of Dad, there he is. I had made a profession of faith when I was 4, and when we were in Mayo, Michigan, when my dad was pastoring there. And so I went up there and I told him, I said, Dad, the only reason I did that when I was 4 was because everybody else was saved and I wanted to be saved. And I don't know if that was the truth or not. That was the story I came up with.
Right.
And I'll never forget, we're in the middle of the invitation, people are at the altar praying, and I told my dad that, and he probably saw through my story, and he laughed out loud, just let out a big cackle, and I'm like, Dad, we're in the invitation, you can't do that. But he took the Bible and showed me how I could know for sure I was on my way to heaven.
Amen.
And it was in October of 1998. Now, I couldn't tell you the day, but I know it was a Wednesday, and I could probably backtrace it if I wanted to. But, you know, and my dad, I heard him on the air this earlier this week. He said, hey, you may not remember the day. Well, pick one. That's right. You know, I know it was in October. I know it was a Wednesday night. You know, I may just find a day and, you know what, this is the date. And, you know, it's not the date remembering the date that saves you. It's, you know, the heart and making the decision. That's right. But, you know, maybe you could sponsor a day in honor of that, your spiritual birthday. Yep. So many different things that you can do here at the radio station, but we need your help.
That's right.
We really do. It's been a little slower, and I understand people are at work and kids are in school and things are going on. But help us out if you can. You give us a call. The numbers are 989-705-7464, 800-485-1910. Still have some matching funds that we really want to get taken care of. With Pastor Doctor's Pledge, we're sitting at $55.60 is where we're sitting at. So we're trying to get to $6,000, and we need your help to do so. I'll add the math up later. So with your day pledge, that'll take $160. So we only have $20 left in matching funds.
Okay.
So we'll I don't want to do real math math real fast in my head because I'll mess it up. So I'll make sure we get the number correct. But so your $160 pledge.
You can use my fingers too if you need.
Yeah, we'll take our shoes off, and then we're going to get in real trouble. Yeah. But so that $160 turns into $320. And we've got $20 left of matching funds, so we've got 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left till the 12 o'clock hour. If we could have somebody call in with $20 before the end of this hour, that'll automatically turn into 40 and take care of those matching funds. And just give us a call, 800-485-1910. We'll go to a few songs to call by and come back after the top of the hour. We're looking for somebody with a $20 pledge that'll turn into 40, and that would be wonderful.
Grab that phone right
Absolutely.
now.
This is Rock My Soul by Nathan and Tanya Horton. We'll be back in a few minutes after the top of the hour.
Once I wandered in sin, so far from my home. Wavered and burdened, I walked all alone, till at a meeting I heard Jesus say, come to the altar, I'll save you today. Rock of my soul, rock of my soul, praise God, it is real. There's one thing for sure, there's one thing I know, forever he'll be the rock of my soul. Struggled at night, no peace could I find, searching in vain to untangle my mind, till the Spirit of God descended on me, breaking my chains and setting me free. Rock of my soul, my sword and my shield. Rock of my soul, praise God, it is real. There's one thing for sure, I think this is the 100th time I've said, don't slam the door. And I know I'm getting tired of sweeping Cheerios off the floor. There's peanut butter on the kitchen curtains I just made, and fingerprinted a cup of cold water, a kiss on the knee. Whatever you do, you've done it unto me. There are toys everywhere I look. There's laundry in the hall. There are school books in the kitchen, colored pictures on the wall. Sometimes I grow to envy those whose house is always clean, who have time to do the projects of which I can only dream. Sometimes it seems like motherhood is a never-ending chore. But Lord, when I'm before you, I know there's ever so much more. Help me to see that everything I do can be a way to offer up my services to you. Whatever you do unto one of the least of these, you have done it unto me. A cup of cold water, a kiss on the knee. Whatever you do, you've done it unto me. Suffer the little children to come unto me. Like little children is what you wanted us to be. There's so much that we can learn, dear Lord, when we see our children through your eyes. Whatever you do unto one of the least of these, you have done it unto me. A cup of cold water, a kiss on the knee. Whatever you do unto one of these, you've done it unto me. Whatever you do, you have done it unto me. There's a dear and precious book, though it's worn and faded now, which recalls those happy days of long ago, when I stood at Mother's knee with her hand upon my brow, and I heard her voice in gentle tones and low. Blessed book, precious book, on thy dear old tear-stained leaves I love to look. Thou art sweeter day by day as I walk the narrow way that leads at last to that bright home above. Then she read of Jesus' love as he blessed the children dear, how he suffered, bled, and died upon the tree. Of his heavy load of care, then she dried my flowing tears with her kisses as she said it was for me. Blessed book, precious book, on thy dear old tear-stained leaves I love to look. Thou art sweeter day by day at last to that bright home above. Well, those days are past and gone, but their memory lingers still, and the dear old book each day has been my guide, and I seek to do His will as my mother taught me then, and ever in my heart His words abide. Blessed book, precious book, on my dear old tear-stained leaves I love to look. Thou art sweeter day by day as I walk the narrow way that leads at last to that bright home above.
He walked the streets to Calvary, the rugged cross He bore. The crowd stood high and watched this man. They'd heard Him teach before. I'm not sure I'm worthy, such love I'd never find. For He knew me, yet He loved me. He whose glory makes the heavens shine. I'm so on His face, and thorns were on His head. Blood was on His scarlet robe, stained a crimson red. Though His eyes were on the crowd that day, He looked ahead in time. For when He was on the cross, I was on His mind. For He knew me, yet He loved me. He whose glory makes the heavens shine. I'm so unworthy of such mercy, yet when He was on the cross, I was on His mind. Yet when He was on the cross, I was on His mind.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump is airborne at this hour on his way to Las Vegas after the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Here's more from correspondent Joe Gomez.
President Trump is expected to tour a hospital in Las Vegas where he'll meet with victims of the shooting and medical staff. He's also due to meet with first responders.
We're going to pay our respects and to see the police who have done really a fantastic job in a very short time.
In equally brief remarks yesterday, Trump called the shooter sick and demented. Police are still searching for a motive after 64-year-old Stephen Paddock killed at least 58 people and injured more than 500 others before taking his own life.
The National Hurricane Center is saying that they expect a new tropical depression to form later today in the Caribbean Sea, and the system is expected to move northward and could be in the Gulf of Mexico by Saturday. This is USA Radio News. House Democrats are calling for new gun safety regulations after the shooting massacre in Las Vegas Sunday.
We offer our thoughts and prayers, but it's all a show until people forget.
Georgia Democrat John Lewis among those taking part in an event outside the Capitol Wednesday morning.
How many more must die?
Republicans say it's way too soon to be discussing gun control in the wake of the Sunday massacre.
Look, the investigation's not even been completed, and I think it's premature to be discussing legislative solution.
That's Senate Majority Leader Republican Mitch McConnell. Puerto Rico could see some relief from its massive debt. During his visit to the hurricane-ravaged U.S. territory yesterday, President Trump said, while Puerto Rico owes a lot of money to Wall Street, quote, we will have to wipe that out. Trump telling Fox News he's not sure how much the debt is or exactly who it's owed to, but, quote, you can wave goodbye to that. This is USA Radio News.
From the weather desk of 88.1 WBLW Gaylord, here is your hourly forecast, courtesy of the National Weather Service.
Rain showers likely this morning, with skies gradually clearing this afternoon and a high of 63 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear and a low of 46. Thursday showing mostly sunny skies expected with a high of 60. Friday, sunny with a high of 60 degrees. Thank you for listening to Gaylord's 88.1 The Living Word FM and online at livingwordfm.com.
Tears will never stain the streets of that city. A heart will never break anymore.
If I could count the tears that have fallen, it would seem like an ocean to me. And if my heart were a window you could look through, oh, the pain and scars you would see. Tears will never stain the streets of that city. No wreath of death on my mansion door. Teardrops aren't welcome beyond the gates of glory. A heart will never break anymore. I've questioned the loss of a loved one. The grave seems so final and cold, but I'll meet them where death has no victory, in a land where we'll never grow old. Tears will never stain the streets of that city. No wreath of death on my mansion door. Teardrops aren't welcome beyond the gates of glory. A heart will never break anymore. Tears will never stain the streets of that city. No wreath of death on my mansion salvation door. Teardrops aren't welcome beyond the gates of glory. A heart will never break anymore. Our hearts will never break anymore.
Tears Will Never Stain by The Inspirations. That was the name of that last song, and we've been away for a few minutes, but we've had some stuff going on, so it's been a good reason to go away. And we've got a few pledges here, and I'll give these two to you, and you can read those and do with those, and I'll read this one here. We had Elizabeth Sundelius call in from Charlevoix. I believe it goes to Jordan Valley Baptist Church, and so she called in with that $20 one-time pledge to take care of our matching funds there, so that turns into $40. Amen. And so thank you, Elizabeth, for that. That's a blessing, and so that takes care of that, and that takes care of our matching funds with the $160 that you and your wife pledged. Yes. And then I believe you have something else over there.
Yes, we our church, we're going to sponsor a day, Jordan Valley Baptist Church, and this is Pastor Doctor, of course, and we're celebrating on November 4th our 8th year as we started the church there in East Jordan, and God is blessed. We're a small church, but we got some great people.
Sure.
Love the Lord and serve the Lord. You know, it's amazing when I think about it. Here we are, just a couple handfuls of people. We support 5 missionaries at $100 a month, and just a blessing.
Amen.
And God is so good. We had a fire. We'd bought a building here a couple years ago, and we had a fire in it, and we had a choice to either remodel that or do something different. Well, we bought a different building, remodeled it. We had a lot of volunteer help. What a blessing that was. And we have a fantastic, nice building now, and God has blessed us.
Awesome.
And I just want to say a special thank you to your pastor, Pastor Jenkins, and also Pastor Tharp over in Bible Baptist Church in Central Lake. When I had my cancer and I couldn't speak, and these men graciously sent men over to fill the pulpit for me.
Sure.
And that was such a blessing. It was a real encouragement to me, and to think that these men would be willing to give up some of their men to help, and it was a blessing. And the people loved the speakers, all of them that came, and Brother Larry Robinson, he came a number of times.
Yes, sir.
And that he's a real blessing to the folks. And I never met him until after I got better, and then I finally got the chance to meet him. Nathan Sandalius filled in from here, and then over in Central Lake there was numerous fellas, and I just appreciate them all. That was a blessing, and especially those pastors that were willing to give up some men to help.
Yes, sir. Brother Robinson was actually, when I was really, really young, back in the late 90s, he was my junior church preacher.
Okay.
And I can remember he'd always pick somebody out, a kid out of the crowd, to pick and watch for the Quiet Seat prize.
Oh, Quiet Seat! Oh, yeah.
And I always wanted to be the one to watch and pick the Quiet Seat prize winner. You know, and obviously if you didn't get picked, you wanted to win.
Yeah.
But I always remember that being one of the things that I always tried to sit really still and not move, so he'd pick me. And, But he's a hero in my book.
That's good.
Not only spiritually, but he was an Army Ranger back in, I believe it was Vietnam.
Okay.
And is a hero, a Purple Heart recipient. And,
I didn't even know that. Thank you, Brother Larry, for your service.
He's a hero as an American soldier as well, and he's a great man here at this church. I really, really love Brother Larry.
Yeah.
And but we're here, Fall Shareathon. We're just short of. Let's see here. I have it right here. Just short of $6,000. We're $60 short. We're sitting at $5,920.
Amen.
So we need somebody here or a couple of people here in these next few minutes to help us get to $6,000. And we've got about 40 minutes left on this shift. And if we could get over 6,000, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
But we only need $60, folks, to get to this $6,000 mark. That's one person. If you want to call in with a day's worth of broadcasting, that takes it plus $100 over.
And to some people, that's just pocket change.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, others, it's a lot.
Absolutely, and we're not.
Whatever you can give would be great.
Absolutely, you don't have to give 160 if you can call in. We just had one with a $20 pledge, and that helps out way more than you understand. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Liz.
I didn't mention. It says here that she loves her pastor, so I'm assuming that's directed towards you because I am not her pastor.
Yeah, and she's we love her, and the church. She has been a blessing. She has a tremendous voice. She can sing. Memorizes songs. That just amazes me. But yeah, she's a blessing. So
yes, sir. So she just called in with a $20 pledge, and maybe you could be the next one to do that. And we need, if 3 people called in with a $20 pledge, bam, we're right there, $6,000, and that's awesome.
Yep.
And we'd love to be able to get over that. But right now, we're going to try and focus to get to that goal, and we'll go from there. So it's 12:21 by our clocks here at the station. So we're just short of 40 minutes here left on this shift. So give us a call, 989-705-7464, or if you want to call toll-free, 800-485-1910. And I mention this, I think, every time I'm on Shareathon, is that I don't know if 800 numbers are even really that relevant anymore.
When we got off the air, I was going to ask you, do people even use 800 number anymore?
Well, toll-free was back when long distance cost money. But, now with cell phones, I could call California and it not cost me a dime because it's all in the contract and everything. But I think more anything anymore, it's now meant for a business professional line.
Right. But you can still pay online if you wish.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, we're live streaming right now. If you'd want to see us, do that.
The faces behind the voice. Not much to look at, but we're here.
For sure, on this side.
I think you're better looking than you're giving yourself credit for. So you can at least grow a beard. I cannot, so you've got that going for you. And my wife makes me shave all the time because I can't get a full beard going. I can't even get a full goatee. So it's just.
But some ways it's a blessing too. So.
Yeah. Well, when I was in college, I used to have guys laugh at me. You can't even grow a beard. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have to shave every day.
That's right.
So it's like I could go 2 days and not get demerits for not shaving. So, but anyways.
Well, you don't have a baby face though.
Well, that's a good thing, I guess. Yeah. I look my age, maybe not act it, but I at least hopefully look it.
You don't look a day over 20.
Oh, well, that's good. Now sometimes that as a younger guy, you're like, oh man, I've had people think I'm not even over 18 before, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But then I think about it, well, if I can keep this going when I'm like 50 and people think I'm 28, that'd be wonderful.
Absolutely.
But.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's beside the point.
I've always looked older, my age.
Oh, okay.
And so now when I see a picture of myself, I say, wow. Especially now since from the cancer I lost the 40 pounds.
Sure.
I said, man, he's a skinny old man. Skinny old man.
I'm just a skinny young man. Always have been. Yeah. I blame my father for that because he was a lot smaller than I am at his age. So.
Well, he's not so small now.
Yeah, he's put on a few pounds, but we'll blame that because of his age, and he's
good
slowing.
Cooking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mom is a very good cook. So, but we need your help to raise some funds. $160 to take care of a day. We're just $60 shy of $6,000. So if you could call us and help us reach that $6,000 mark. Whatever the amount is, that whatever pledge amount that you feel the Lord laying on your heart, that will suffice for us, no matter what it is.
And a tremendous investment.
Absolutely. You think about this. It's when this radio first started, our radio station, first started back in 2000. We started 17 years ago this past March. And I was telling the fellow I was on last night, Ethan Miracle, I remember when we first started the radio station.
Okay.
I was 10 years old, and it was just, to me, it was so cool to be able to drive to school and have music playing on the radio that you knew was good gospel music.
That's right, amen.
And we used to, if you listened last night, I'm repeating myself, and I apologize, but Monday nights when I was a kid was when they first started the radio station. They have what was called radio requests.
Okay.
And you could call into the radio station and ask for a song, and Brother Joel Butler, who's still a member here at the church, would
I remember those days.
He'd fill it in to the program, and they'd play them, and he'd say who requested it over the air. And as a 10-year-old kid, you know, your name on the radio was like,
Big
that
deal.
was awesome,
Big
you know.
deal.
So I every week, if we were allowed to stay up and listen, I think it was on from 7 to 8. So I think every week we'd try and call in a song so we could hear our name, and he'd always have a trivia question. Whether it was, you know, it wasn't always Bible trivia, but sometimes it was Bible trivia, sometimes history, or just random questions. And the first person that would call in with the correct answer would get a free CD.
Yeah.
And I remember the one week, I don't remember the question. I think it was a history question. I think it was a president question. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I remember I called in and I had the correct answer, and I got a Henson CD. And I still have it. It's packed away somewhere. It's on my computer. I have it listed on my computer. But so this radio station has been, you know, it has a dear place in my heart because, you know, I was here, didn't have really a big part in when it started, but I, you know, a recipient of when it started. But back then, you know, we didn't have the internet as big of a thing as it is now. You know, now we're on the World Wide Web. We're really a 24/7 worldwide radio ministry. I know there's missionaries in the Philippines and in Ireland. I know there's some in West Africa that use our radio station.
Great.
And they use it and listen to it. So, and people are influenced in different countries as a result of WBLW.
Great.
So you're not just you know, paying to have us go across the radio waves here in northern Michigan. You're also, you know, helping us broadcast as a 24/7 missionary across the world.
Amen.
And you know, we'll have no idea.
That's right.
You know, until we get to heaven, those people that we may have an influence on, or you know, may have the possibility of seeing souls saved across the world as a result of this radio station.
That's why I said it's a great investment.
Absolutely. And you know, we'll have to wait till we get to heaven to see those people and those rewards. But
God's keeping track.
Absolutely.
Amen.
You know, God knows who's being influenced by this radio station, and your investment in it is not taken lightly by God.
That's right.
And it's not taken lightly by us either.
No.
But we do need your help to get to that $6,000 mark. So if you could, pick up the phone, give us a call. As Brother Maynard Musgrave would say, if you know who he is, let your fingers do the walking.
Yep.
And give us a call at 989-705-7464 or toll free 800-485-1910. We'll give you a few more songs to call by, and we'll be back here in the next few minutes. $60 will get us to $6,000. So give us a call and make your pledge, and we'll definitely thank you for it.
You bet.
And this is A World We Never Touch by Sweet Echoes. Let this song be a blessing to you. We'll be back in a few minutes.
He walked along the shores of Galilee. From clay he formed the healing balm that calls the blind to see. And stones of wrath lay heavy in their hands. He knelt to write his mercy in the sand. Jesus came to set the captives free. Showed us by the way he lived, the way we need to be. Oh, love is more than words could ever say. it's long since lost its way. We pride ourselves in being set apart, yet we won't take time to touch a broken heart. Even if we found the time to care, would we take the risk involved in always being there? Oh, we hold the very thing they need so much. Sometimes the word of God can pass through just a simple touch. How can we reach a world we never touch? How can we show them Christ if we never show them love? Just to say we care will never be enough. How can we reach a world we never touch? We hide behind these walls in the security of friends, while beyond the stained glass windows the world is lost in sin. How can we reach a world we never touch? How can we show them Christ if we never show them love? Just to say we care will never be enough. How can we reach a world we never touch? Just to say we care will never be enough. How can we reach a world we never touch?
The longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows.
Since I started for the kingdom, since my life he controls, since I gave my heart to Jesus, the longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows. The longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows. The more that I love him, more love he bestows.
Each day is like heaven, my heart overflows.
The longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows.
Every need he is supplying, plenteous grace he bestows. Every day my way gets brighter, the longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows.
The longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows. The more that I love him, more love he bestows.
Each day is like heaven, my heart overflows.
The longer I serve him, the sweeter he grows. Each
There we go. We'll Keep Serving Jesus by the Grace Baptist College tour groups. And we're here kind of coming on the final leg of our shift here for Fall Shareathon 2017. And I made a mistake, and you can bash me over it later, and I apologize. We are not $60 short. We are $80. Pastor Doctor corrected me on that. My math is not my strong suit.
Mine either.
Well, a little bit better than mine, apparently. So we are sitting at $5,920. We need $80 to get to $6,000. We've got 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
So if we can get $80 raised here in these next 20 minutes, if you can call in with a pledge, one person with a $160 pledge, we'll take that out, double that. That $80 amount, and that'll get us over $6,000. Or if you want to just pledge the $80 and get us to that $6,000 mark, that would be wonderful as well.
Amen.
But any amount really helps out, no matter what the size of it. I know this past spring we had a pledge come in for $3,000, and we had as small as $1 pledged. So it doesn't matter the size; it all goes to the same cause, and it all helps us keep the lights on and keep going here at the Living Word FM. So we need your help. We've got, like I said, just a little less than 20 minutes left here on this shift. And then we're going to take our 1 to 3 break, and they'll get her going back up here at 3 o'clock and go on through till 7. And I hope you'll be a part. If you're not going to be a part this shift, I hope you'll be a part of the Shareathon this week at some point and call in with a pledge. But if you are planning on pledging, what better time to do it than right now?
That's right.
And give us a call, 705-7464-800. 485-1910. And we were just talking a little bit of sports here off the air, and Pastor Doctor, I found out, is kind of down the line as far as Michigan State goes. We've got that big game coming up this week. But
I have to be careful because I have brothers and nephews and sons. They are, so I like both of them.
Yeah, well, that's somewhat sacrilegious, but I'll forgive you for it. So, anyways,
I just as we're talking about that, we talked about my son Danny earlier with Down syndrome. He loves sports, and normally when Michigan plays, he has from his hat all the way down to his slippers are Michigan.
That's my kind of guy.
When Michigan State plays, he has from his hat all the way down to his slippers are Michigan State. Now, when they're playing this Saturday, he'll be half and half.
Half and half.
He'll have half one and half the other. You never know for sure which way he's going to do it. But
that's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it's going to be this Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. It's the game under the lights at the Big House. 7:30, I believe, is the kickoff time. So I'll be out of work and ready to watch it. Yeah. And my wife will probably go off in the other room and find something else to occupy her time with, because she could care less.
Well, my wife, back when I played football, she was a cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
And the coach actually taught them a lot about football.
Gotcha.
So she'll watch it while she's crocheting or knitting also. You know. Thank the Lord for replay.
Anyway.
But what's far more important in sports, as much as we like that, is this radio station.
Absolutely.
And the message that it sends forth. And a lot of people say, well, these teams, they pray for their team. Which one does God answer? I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah, probably not.
He cares for the individual.
Sure.
And if somebody, they're talented, God will bless that and use it, like he did Tim Tebow.
Sure.
Even though he was ridiculed by so many, he had quite a stand.
Sure.
And there's some good ones even today out there right now.
Sure.
College and pro. And but we're talking about something special here. This radio is 24/7 worldwide that sends the gospel message out through song, through messages. And we talked about earlier, some great, I love Pastor Jenkins speaking. I love Jack Treber. I love a lot of them, but I mean, those are kind of stand out to me. They're so encouraging, challenging, and a blessing. And as a pastor, I have to study and I prepare, and I love to preach and teach, but I love to hear it too.
Sure.
Matter of fact, we were, your dad, Greg Ewing, was up also at Fundamental Baptist.
Yes, sir.
Up in Ken Ross.
Yes, sir.
On Monday with old school. and old school. I can't remember what it's called now, but pastor's old school, whatever. This year he had a lot of young preachers, and Brother Cox was one of them, and different ones. Great. It was exciting. There was over 80 preachers there that day.
Wow.
Just under 700 people total.
Wow.
And it was a encouraging day and a blessing, challenging also. But, this radio station stays on, and people get to listen to it, encouraged, challenged. And as you already said, sometimes, we can be down a little bit.
Sure.
Satan throws things in front of us. And turn that radio on and hear song, and it's uplifting or challenging, whatever it might be, God will use it. And so that's why it's so important for us to try to support it.
Sure. I was listening to the radio. It actually wasn't this station. I had another station on it, and I heard a commercial for it was talking about saving energy, and they said run your washer and your dryer at night while you're sleeping, so you save energy because it's not all the lights are off and it's not drawing energy from that. Well, that's kind of what this radio station does. You pledge to this radio station. We're 24/7, so even while you're sleeping, we're broadcasting the gospel message. We've got plenty of programs that run 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's people across the world that are hearing this radio station broadcast and hearing the gospel message even while we're asleep.
While we're sawing logs.
Absolutely. Amen. So you're laying up treasures in heaven while you're sleeping.
That's right.
What a better way to do it.
And for only $160 a day.
That's right. And it's very, very, very affordable.
As we said earlier, I want to break that down again because I think that's so important for people to see and understand. It's 33 cents a day.
Yes, sir. That's less than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
A lot less anymore.
And, boy, that's a great investment.
So we need your help. Like I said, we're just short of $6,000. As I've been corrected, we're $80 short, not $60 short, but we've got about 15 minutes left. We'll go back to a few songs to call by. If you can call in with an $80 pledge and get us to $6,000, that would be wonderful. Amen. We definitely thank you for it, but we'll give you a few songs to call by. This is I Believe God by the Grace Baptist Teen Choir, and we'll be back to sign off here in the next few minutes.
Trust in the wisdom of another. Some search for light in the dark. But like a child, I have come with simple faith, and the only one who can change my heart. I believe God. I believe His word is true. For I've seen what He can do when I call upon His name. I believe God, so let the world say what they will. I will choose to serve Him still, knowing He will never change. I believe God. Some say this life is the only thing that matters. Some say we live, then we die. But I'm convinced that eternity awaits. So with every breath, I will testify. I believe God. I believe His word is true, for I've seen what He can do when I call upon His name. I believe God, so let the world say what they will. I will choose to serve
he can do when I call upon his name.
I believe God, I believe his word is true, for I've seen what he can do when I call upon his name. I believe God, so let the world say what they will, I will choose to serve him still, knowing he will never change. I believe God, I believe God, I believe
When I'm low in spirit, I cry, Lord, lift me up. I want to go higher with thee. But the Lord knows I can't live on a mountain. So he picked out a valley for me. He leads me beside still water. Water somewhere in the valley below. He draws me aside to be tested and tried. But in the valley he restoreth my soul. It's dark as a dungeon, and the sun seldom shines, and I question, Lord, why must this be? Then he tells me there's strength in my sorrow, and there's victory in trials for me, for me. He leads me beside still water. Water somewhere in the valley for me, for me. He draws me aside to be tested and tried. But in the valley he restoreth my soul. In the valley he restoreth my soul.
I looked around one day as my life fell apart. Would anyone help me to find my way? I knew I needed you, Lord, to heal my wounded heart. I needed you while others turned away.
You were there when I was weary. You were there when I was strong. You were there when I had burdens that last the whole night long. You were there in the midnight to show me that you cared. Every time I thought I'd fall, you were there.
At times I was so low, not wanting to go on, not knowing that your presence was so near. but then I'd feel your touch and hear your gentle voice whispering, there's no need for you to fear.
You were there when I was weary. You were there when I was strong. You were there when I had burdens that last the whole night long. You were there in the midnight to show me that you cared. Every time I thought I'd fall, you were there. You were there when I lost loved ones dear to me, and you helped me to survive upon life's raging sea. Lord, I need you for my trials I cannot face alone. I'll still need you when I take my journey home. You were there when I was weary. You were there when I was strong. You were there when I had burdens that last the whole night long. You were there in the midnight to show me that you cared. Every time I thought I'd fall, you were there. You were there.
Sin had left a crimson stain, crimson stain. He washed it white as snow. There is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's veins, and sinners plunged beneath that flood lose all their guilty stains, lose all their guilty stains, lose all their guilty stains, and sinners plunged beneath that flood lose all their guilty stains. Dear dying Lamb, thy precious blood shall never lose its power till all the ransomed church of God be saved to sin no more. Be saved to sin no more. Be saved to sin no more, no more. Till all the ransomed church of God be saved to sin no more, no more. Ere since by faith I saw the stream, thy flowing wounds supply. Redeeming love has been my theme, and shall be till I die, and shall be till I die, and shall be till I die, till I die. His redeeming love has been my theme, and shall be till I die.
There Is a Fountain by the Ed Russ Quartet, and we're sitting at 1 o'clock, so we're done with our shift. But before we left, I wanted to read one more pledge that just came in. Miss Barbara Fielder, or Barbara Fielder, called in with a $160 day's worth of broadcasting pledge, and says here in honor of her 4 sons. So we thank you, Mrs. Fielder, for that. And that gets us over $6,000. So we're sitting at $6,080. So thank you very much for that pledge. And we're done here. So thank you, Pastor Doctor, for your time.
My privilege.
And it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed getting to know you a little bit. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to meet.
Like I told your brother, you probably won't want to be with me again on air, but anyway.
Oh, I had a fun time. I enjoyed myself.
I did too.
So we're going to shut her down here for the 1 to 3 hour. We're going to take a break, go back to some music, and they'll be back here at 3 o'clock to start things up again. So thank you all for those that pledged during our shift and those that have pledged today. Stay tuned, and we'll have some more music and some more Shareathon to come here in these next few hours. And so we're going to go back to the news and weather, and then some music after that.
USA Radio News with Jason Wirt.
Kudos to those officers that got together and said, this is what we trained for, active shooter, we're putting an element together, let's go engage this individual and locate them.
Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo describing to the media how his officers came together to stop the gunman in Las Vegas.
And when the security officer was engaged by the suspect, we backed off for immediate apprehension, and SWAT team formed and made entry.
President Trump will be in Las Vegas today talking to survivors of the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Trump called the shooter sick and demented. Police say they're still trying to figure out the killer's motive. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson held an unscheduled press conference today, denouncing a report from NBC that he was close to leaving the Trump administration. The NBC report claimed that Tillerson had to be convinced to stay in his position. Tillerson said the report is simply untrue. USA Radio News. Testimony continues in the trial of a New Jersey senator accused of corruption.
Former Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius told the court about a meeting she had with Menendez over Medicare's payment policy. Prosecutors say Menendez was trying to help a Florida eye doctor who was facing millions in fines for overbilling Medicare. Menendez is accused of accepting free travel and other gifts from the doctor in exchange for political favors. Menendez denies any wrongdoing.
Equifax CEO Richard Smith back on Capitol Hill for his second day of testimony. Smith appearing before the Senate Banking Committee and later the Judiciary Committee to testify about the breach that compromised the personal information of 145 million people. He apologized yesterday to the House Energy and Commerce Committee. He said he accepted full responsibility for the breach. Today, Smith attributed the breach to a combination of human and technological error. He said all of those errors have been discovered and have also been corrected. Get more news online at usaradio.com.
From the weather desk of 88.1 WBLW Gaylord, here is your hourly forecast, courtesy of the National Weather Service.
Rain showers likely this morning, with skies gradually clearing this afternoon and a high of 63 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear and a low of 46. Thursday showing mostly sunny skies expected with a high of 60. Friday, sunny with a high of 60 degrees. Thank you for listening to Gaylord's 88.1 The Living Word FM and online at livingwordfm.com.
Can your church or ministry reach out to public school teachers?
Yet another example of the unwelcome mat being rolled out for Christians today. Here's attorney David Gibbs Jr. of the Christian Law Association.
A church that was very involved in community events made a gift bag for every teacher in the school district. Among the many practical gifts was a personal invitation to visit the church. The principals of the schools had the invitation removed because the Word of God was mentioned in the gospel tract. The pastor contacted the Christian Law Association. One of our attorneys explained that schools which allow other outside groups to place invitations to students or teachers, for example, Little League or local theater, must, by law, also allow religious groups to do the same, or they would demonstrate viewpoint discrimination, which is illegal. In this case, the church has every right to have their gospel tracts in the gift bag.
An unsettling but important conversation to have. You can keep up with this issue and many more when you visit our website. It's christianlaw.org. You'll find critical case updates, links to legal resources, and much more. Our website again is christianlaw.org.
As I go winding away to glory land, the home of the soul, my life sometimes has sorrow where I roam. But when I enter the gates of glory land, which now is my home, my Lord will say, my child, you're welcome home. Well done, my child. Well done, my child, my Lord will say. With courage bold you stood for the right, a crown of love, a crown of life. You won a crown, you won. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. To say that day, like Paul of old, you fought a good fight. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done. I now am waiting and longing for the day when I shall arise and sail away across the ocean's foam. I'll be so happy to hear my Savior say in sweet paradise, well done, my child, you now are welcome home. Well done, my child. Well done, my child, my Lord will say. With courage bold you stood for the right, a crown of love, a crown of life. You've won a crown, you've won. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. To say that day, like Paul of old, you fought a good fight. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. My Lord will say. My Lord will say. With courage bold you stood for the right, a crown of love, a crown of life. You've won a crown, you've won. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. To say that day, like Paul of old, you fought a good fight. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done. Well done, my child. Well done, my child. Well done.
Not some tragic struggle, not some endless search. Just a story of some kids growing up in church. We took in every moment with open eyes and ears, and one day took to heart what we saw in those years. And we saw real people with real struggles and real lives bruised in real ways. And there was real joy and real hope, and through it all we found real faith. We count it as a blessing to know such strength and peace. Oh, not that they were perfect, but they lived with honesty. And the evidence we witnessed daily in each life helped pave the way for us to embrace the love of Christ. Real people with real struggles and real lives bruised in real ways.
thousands eyes are watching. May they see our lives and say, yes, we saw real people with real struggles and real life's bruising, real weight in their hands, real joy and real hope. But through it all, we found real faith. Through it all, we found real faith. Real faith. Real faith. Real faith.
For years now, this sickness has robbed her. It seems to get worse every day. She's always confused by her memory, even forgetting her sweet husband's name. Still he's holding her hand at her bedside. He comes every day right on time. Though she hasn't known him for years now, he keeps his one thought in his heart and his mind. She said, I know my name's written in heaven with all of the saved and redeemed. And should the day come when I can't remember him, he will remember me. Someday I may not remember Jesus, my dear Savior's name. I may not recall my family. I may not remember the day I was saved. But I know my name's written in heaven with all of the saved and redeemed. And should the day come when I can't remember him, he will remember me. I may walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but I know his face I shall see. He said he would never leave nor forsake me, and I know that Jesus will remember me. And I know my name's written in heaven with all of the saved and redeemed. And should the day come when I can't remember him, he will remember me. I know he will remember me. Remember me.
I'm kind of homesick for a country to which I've never been before. No sad goodbyes. Will there be spoken? For time won't matter anymore. I'm looking now just across that old river to where my faith it will end in sight. There's just a few more days down here to labor, and then I'll take my heavenly flight. Beulah land, I'm longing for you. And someday on thee I'll stand. There my home shall be. Eternal Beulah land, sweet Beulah land.
Weak and wounded sinner, lost and left to die. Oh, raise your head, for love is passing by. Come to Jesus, come to Jesus, come to Jesus and live. Now your burden's lifted and carried far away. the precious blood has washed away the stain. So sing to Jesus, sing to Jesus, sing to Jesus and live. And like a newborn baby, don't be afraid to crawl. And remember, when you walk, sometimes you fall. So fall on Jesus, fall on Jesus, fall on Jesus and live. Sometimes the way is lonely and steep and filled with pain. So if your sky is dark and pours the rain, then cry to Jesus, cry to Jesus, cry to Jesus and live. Fills the night, and when you can't contain your joy inside, then shout to Jesus, shout to Jesus, shout to Jesus and live. And with your final heartbeat, kiss the world goodbye, and go in peace and laugh on glory's side. Then fly to Jesus, fly to Jesus, fly to Jesus.
I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. I'm looking straight ahead and not looking behind. Don't want to go back to where I used to be. There's nothing like the peace that Jesus brings. There's nothing like the song that he gives to sing. I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. He brought me out of the miry clay, set my feet on a rock to stay, placed his joy down in my soul. I can say heaven now is my goal. I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. I'm looking straight ahead and not looking behind. Don't want to go back to where I used to be. There's nothing like the peace that Jesus brings. There's nothing like the song that he gives to sing. I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. He's building me a home way beyond the blue. I'm just a stranger here passing through. I've come too far to turn back now. I'm going to heaven and I'll tell you how. I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. I'm looking straight ahead and not looking behind. Don't want to go back to where I used to be. There's nothing like the peace that Jesus brings. There's nothing like the song that he gives to sing. I don't want to go back to the world. There's nothing in the world for me. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
This is Pastor Darrell Cox, pastor of the Trinity Baptist Church in Mocksville, North Carolina, and we're so glad that you've tuned in to our program today, and we hope that you'll stay tuned for the next 15 minutes. We'll have a word of prayer, and then a song, and then a sermon from the Word of God. And again, let me say thank you for tuning in to our program today. Heavenly Father, as we preach today on the storms and struggles and trials of this life, and Lord, we know that they come, but there's always Jesus. And we thank you, Lord Jesus, that you never leave us. You never forsake us. Though the skies gets dark and the clouds roll in, and the rain comes and the lightning, and the troubles and the trials, Lord, you never leave. Now may somebody listening to my voice today be encouraged by the fact that, Lord, you're with us. And Lord, I pray then for that one that's never known what it is to be saved. I pray that they'd receive Christ as their personal Savior. I pray that the broadcast will go out loud and clear. And I pray that you'd bless the station and keep your hands upon it and continue to meet the needs to keep it going. Thank you for your goodness. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, thank you for listening. This is Pastor Darrell Cox from the Trinity Baptist Church, and I'm glad it's Wednesday, and of course tonight is our prayer meeting night tonight at 7, and we'll have an old-fashioned service here tonight at 7 o'clock, have our children's program for ages 3 through the 6th grade, nurseries provided. The choir is going to sing for us tonight, Lord's willing, and then a message from the Word of God. And then Sunday school on Sunday morning at 10, classes for every age. And then at 11, the preaching hour, 7 o'clock Sunday night. Bus transportation is made available. If you want to ride one of our buses and you'd like to have a way to church, we had a family here called just not long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, that moved into the area that knew about our church and knew about the bus ministry. And we picked this family up, and the man got saved and baptized, and joined the church here, and has been coming. But it's all through the bus ministry. Man, I thank God for our bus ministry here. And no tool could be used any greater to reach people and get folk in church than the bus ministry. And I thank God for it. And so if you want to ride one of our buses to Sunday school, you may call 336-284-2404. Leave your name, your address, and we'll get in contact with you about riding one of our buses to Sunday school. Well, here's a song I trust will be a blessing as you listen.
Millions have never heard of the Son of God who died on Calvary, who will take God's word and share the wondrous news of salvation free, who will leave their home and land, go to the regions beyond the sea, who will go not turning back, giving their lives for souls of man, and do all that they can, who will go, who will win, who will reach the souls of men, and do it for the Lord, who will help, who will yield, going to the mission field, not caring for reward. The harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers
But sadly so few are chosen. The fields are white as snow, ripened already to harvest. Can't you hear the lost ones cry? Who will come and help us, please? Can't you see they're doomed to die? Without hope unless we go, the Savior they must know. Who will go? Who will win? Who will reach the souls of men and do it for the Lord? Who will help? Who will yield? Going to the mission field, not caring for reward. The harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers so few. Who will answer to the call? Why not you? To the regions beyond, who will win? Who will reach the souls of men? Till the world, His salvation shall know. Who will go? Who will win? Who will reach the souls of men and do it for the Lord? Who will help? Who will yield? Going to the mission field, not caring for reward. The harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers so few. Who will answer to the call? Why not you? Who will answer to the call? Why not you?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that song on the broadcast today. And now we're going to go back to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 14. Jesus is here with his disciples, told them to get into the ship and go to the other side before him in verse 22. And then in verse 23, it said he sent the multitudes away and went into a mountain apart from them to pray. If Jesus seen a need to go pray, friend, we certainly should. It said when the evening was come, and he was there alone. He was praying by himself. And then the ship, it said, was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with the waves, for the wind was contrary. That's sort of the way it is in life, isn't it? That the ship that we're on many times is tossed by the waves and the winds. And so the disciples here, and these men, several of them were professional fishermen. They had been in storms before. But brother, this was a real storm. And in the fourth watch of the night, verse 25 says, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him on the sea, walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the winds boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. And then Jesus then rebuked them for their lack of faith. And friend, we ought to have faith in God. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes when you get in the midst of a storm, it can weaken your faith if we're not careful. But here's the storm, and we're talking to you about when rowing it gets rough. And here they are, and buddy, it was right in the midst of a storm. They got in the ship like he told them to, and headed for the other side. But in the midst of the sea, the storms come. Well, I've been saved now for many, many years. Got saved back in the late 60s. I must confess, it's the greatest thing that I ever done is when I got saved. But I also must confess that there have been many battles, many storms, many trials. But I will say this, in every bit of it, the Lord has never left me nor forsaken me. He's always been there, and He's always brought me through it. And let me tell you, He'll do the same thing for you. Now, sometimes when you're in the midst of it, it's a little bit hard to see that. But Jesus saw them in their darkness in verses 22 through 25. And then on yesterday, we said Jesus sought them in the deep in verse 25 and 26. He comes to where you are. I like that song that Squire Parsons wrote years ago called He Came to Me. And that's what He done right here to these disciples. He came to where they were. He sought them out. And He came to them. And I'm glad that one day He came to me for salvation. I wasn't looking for God. God was looking for me, because the Bible said Jesus come to seek and to save that which was lost. Now, not only that, in salvation He seeks for us, but in storms He seeks for us and finds us. And He came to them, and then He comforted them in verses 26 and 27. It says, and when the disciples saw Him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. And straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. Boy, thank God, listen, that Jesus comforted them in their trouble. He said to fear not. He said, but be of good cheer, it is I, and be not afraid. Friend, today, there's no reason to fear when Jesus is near. And we know that whenever we get saved, that He never leaves us nor forsakes us. I want to turn over to Hebrews and the 13th chapter, and I just quoted that verse to you, not all of it, but a portion of it. Hebrews 13 and verse number 5. This is a great verse about Jesus being with us. And listen to this. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For He hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Now listen to this. If you read it backwards, this is what it says. Thee forsake, nor thee leave, never will I. If you read it forward, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Backwards, thee forsake, nor thee leave, never will I. It says the same thing, whether you read it forwards or backwards. And that's what it means. Whether you go in reverse or you going forward, Jesus will never leave you. My friend, if you're laying in a hospital bed or alone as a shut-in, He's not left you. He's there. If you just got a bad doctor's report and you think, well, man, this is the end of the world, and no, He's still there. So today, may we trust the one that's altogether lovely, that said He'd never leave us nor forsake us. Well, this is Pastor Cox saying so long. God bless you. Until next time is our prayer.
We're pilgrims on the journey of the narrow road, and those who've gone before us line the way, cheering on the faithful, encouraging the weary, their lives a stirring testament to God's sustaining grace. Surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us run the race not only for the prize,
as those who've gone before us, let us leave to those behind us a heritage of faithfulness